Yo, what's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the Gridiron Drive. We had a little break last week. Pete was in the most magical place on earth, but as usual, back to regular programming. I'm Anthony Carenti, joined as always by my co-host Peter Traina. If you're watching on YouTube, you see the PFF mock draft machine fired up here. We are in mock draft season. As fans of some bad football teams, we have turned our eye to the NFL draft for 2025. Pete, are we excited to do our first mock, not even of the off season, our first mock draft of the still going on season?
I'm excited because I'm a mock draft addict, but I'm not excited because our teams are so bad. So it's like a double-edged sword.
Fair, very firm, but fair. So we're going to mock the whole first round, courtesy of the fine mock draft simulator over at pff.com. If you're watching, you'll see the draft board. Follow along. If you're watching on YouTube, comment down below. Let us know what picks you agree with, what picks you disagree with, if you would have made a different pick. And if you're listening to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform, that's all right. We're going to hit all the names anyway. You don't need the visual, but you should head on over to the YouTube and subscribe so that you get the visual for next time. You know, it's good. It's good to see. It's good to see.
We're good visuals, says our wives.
Good visuals. So we're going to mock the full first round. This is what we would do, pretty casual. We're going to try and keep it a pretty fast pace, not dive super deep in the weeds on any, nitty gritty stuff, just for the sake of keeping it a reasonably timed episode. And without further ado, the first mock draft of the still going on 2024 season. We'll call it the first mock draft of the off season. Let's fire this bad boy up. I'm going to take the odds. Pete's going to take the evens with some exceptions just so I can make a pick for the Jets later on in the top 10. But the Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock with the first overall selection. It's kind of a weird spot. I feel like they would want to build out the offensive line.
Yeah.
But I am going to take Travis Hunter because I think they need a corner, and I still believe that Travis Hunter is a corner at the next level.
Agree.
If you're not familiar, for some reason, Travis Hunter plays corner and wide receiver at Colorado right now. I think he's a defensive back at the next level, and you can have some sub packages for him if you want to sprinkle in some gadget stuff or some offensive work for him, but he's not going to be a full-time two-way player like he is in college. So I'm going to take Travis Hunter first overall, and Pete's New York Football Giants are on the clock with the second overall pick.
Geez, so the Giants are taking a quarterback here, right?
I think they got to.
When I was thinking about this today, I wanted to get spicy, but I think right now, if I was being fair, I think you have to go with Shedeur. I think there's a scenario in which Garrett climbs up these boards a lot. I think teams might like what he's got, but I could see him also staying in school another year. So I'm going to lock in Shedeur right now. I think right now he is the best pure passer in this draft. Cam Ward has some more upside. Milrose got some nice legs, but I think in terms of pure passer, he throws the ball. I like the way he throws the ball. He's got a quick release. I'm going to go with Shedeur. And, the Dion baggage is there for sure, but I can't fault him for that right now.
Yeah.
That's something that's out of our hands as analysts, and, that's got to be in the meetings and stuff like that, right?
I'm a little surprised. I didn't expect you to take Shedeur. I didn't expect you to take Shedeur number 2.
Yeah, well, I just think right now he's the best thrower of the football. Like, he's got the best arm talent, and that's what I would be making that pick off of right now. I can't do it any other way.
Yeah,
he does scare me. He does scare me with just his dad being a thing like that. That his dad's been his coach since high school.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
All right, Titans are on the clock with the third overall pick. I'm not entirely it feels like another quarterback spot, but also are we really going to get like a huge quarterback run early? I don't know. Not that long ago, the class would have suggested that we weren't going to get like 3 of them coming off the board in the top 5, but this crazy stuff happens all the time. I probably I'm going to take the guy that I thought you were going to take. I will take Cam Ward at number
Fair.
3. The upside is limitless. I think they'll move on from Levis if somebody like Cam Ward is available to them, and just adds a different level of dynamic ability. Cam Ward just has some of that like grit to him too. Like he's just a tough dude. And it just hasn't really worked out the way they would have hoped for Levis. I think it'll be tough for them to pass on a guy like Cam Ward or Shador, really. If one of those two is there, I think and one of them should be there, barring like a trade up to number 1. But I'll take Cam Ward number 3, and you are on the clock with the Cleveland Browns at number 4.
Okay, so the Browns are financially screwed, right? Like this could be a quarterback spot, but I just think when you take a rookie quarterback, the best part is, you don't have to pay the rookie quarterback.
Right.
But if you still have the Albatross Watson contract, I just feel like they have to take their medicine and just build the best team around that they can. And with the way the board has fallen right now, I'm going to take McMillan, I think.
Yeah, I don't hate that one bit.
They traded Cooper in the midseason. They just need to do what they can with that roster right now, and hope Watson works out. Maybe he figures it out, or maybe they go free agency. But I just don't think there's a quarterback here that's like you have to take with that contract of Watson hanging in there. So I'm just going to build the best team I can and pray for the best.
Wide receiver is definitely a need there after moving on from Cooper, and Tetairoa McMillan out of Arizona is a freak show. Just very worthy of being a top 5 pick. I would argue worthy of being a top 3 pick. So at 4, McMillan is my favorite wide receiver in the class. Again, even if you were labeling Travis Hunter a wide receiver, I still like McMillan as a wide receiver better than Travis Hunter. Yeah. So I like that. Puts me up with the Las Vegas Raiders at number 5. This is where, they'll need a quarterback. They probably would have really liked Shador. They probably would have really liked Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Is another quarterback going to go here? I guess if they love Jalen Milroe, but it feels kind of like a stretch that all 3 of those guys go top 5 to me.
Yeah.
They could use a corner, but I have a tough time leaving just the best pure player I think left. I have a tough time passing on Mason Graham.
Yeah.
I really do. I would love to try and spin this in a way where Mason Graham falls to the Jets at 8, but I just don't think that it's going to happen. So I'm going to take defensive lineman from Michigan, Mason Graham. Go ahead.
I was going to say, can I give you a little caveat here?
Yeah.
They did just pay Christian Wilkins a lot of money on the defensive line.
It's true. They have
Crosby.
Man, make a strength of strength.
That would be awesome. No. I'm not. I'm just.
I think it really comes down to one of the Michigan guys, right? Like either Mason Graham or Will Johnson if they want to take a corner.
Pick your guns, man. Don't let me.
Yeah, I'm going to take Mason Graham. Just a pure BPA kind of thing. I don't know. I do love that him with Wilkins and Crosby on the edge. Just a loaded D-line room. And also, I didn't want the Pats to get Mason Graham at 6. So. You're up with the New England Patriots at 6.
All right, at 6, the Patriots. You could just blindly pick offensive line here. Just whoever's the best offensive lineman. And I think currently, right now, I'm probably going to go Will Campbell. I think he's playing left tackle right now, but he's got short arms reportedly. That's okay because the Pats just need anybody on the line. So I think I'm just going to go with Campbell there. LSU tackle is probably going to shift to guard, but listen, they need bodies on the line. They got a good up-and-coming quarterback in Drake May. Their receivers are serviceable. I think they'll target receiver early in free agency. It's not like they need a bunch of receivers. They just need one 1A. So, and I don't, you could go Burden here. That would be interesting. Yeah. But I think I'm going to pass on Burden and just play the smart pick and get an offensive lineman. And I think Campbell would be the pick here. Will Campbell, LSU.
I think they would love if Campbell's there for them. And I wonder if they're a team that's like a T. Higgins landing spot. They flirted with trying to trade for Brandon Ayuk before he signed the extension. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if they go all right, let's build the O-line through the draft and let's see if we can get one of these wide receivers, whether they hit the market or they have to look at the trade market. There's always a wide receiver on the trade market. So I think I have a feeling they're going to try and go that route at wide receiver to get like
Same.
a proven playmaker for Drake May.
You.
All right, so that puts me up with the New Orleans Saints, 7th overall. Things are bleak. Things aren't great in New Orleans right now. Just traded Marshawn Lattimore. I think I'll take Will Johnson here, the corner from Michigan. Yeah, I mean, corner's in need after trading Lattimore. I'm going to take Will Johnson to be their new shutdown corner in New Orleans. I think he's a good fit there and kind of fills the void left behind by trading Lattimore. And now my New York Jets.
Yeah, and so you're going to take this pick just to not confuse everybody. Yeah.
Yep. Just so we don't confuse people. I'm going to take the Jets. Pete's going to do the next two, and then we'll get back on track with odds and evens after that. So the Jets. Man, oh man. The trendy pick right now is Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia. The caveat here is we don't know who's making these picks or who's coaching this team.
Right.
This is what we would do. I don't ever really love the prospect of taking a safety top 10 if I can avoid it. I know Starks is a good player. No argument from me. I just if Malachi Starks was a guy that you could net in a trade down a little bit, recoup another asset, I like it. But the Jets cannot stop the run. Not even a little bit. And as bad as the safety play has been, you got to beef up the front a little bit. So here I will take the other Michigan defensive lineman, Kenneth Grant. It feels almost like a slight to call him the other one, but Mason Graham is a dude, but Kenneth Grant is a dude all in his own right as well. We'll get a lot of safety talk here, some other kind of flashier talk, but they really they underestimated what their D-line was going to look like this year. And you still have Quinnen. Will McDonald's a player on the edge. You'll get Jermaine Johnson back next year. Sure, you'd like another edge, but I want to build the rest of the interior of the D-line here, so I'm going to take Kenneth Grant 8 overall.
That's a Jets pick right there.
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
And we're back in full rebuild mode anyway, so just rebuild the D-line again, baby.
Yeah. All right.
So you're up with 9 and 10.
Okay, so I got the Panthers here at 9. Part of me wants to take a quarterback here. Bryce had a good game against the Giants. Do the Giants stink? Yes. They couldn't stop the run. It made Bryce very comfortable. But that could also be the formula to help Bryce. Like, hey, let's really bulk up this run game. Let's get better. And let's make it easy for him. With that being said, I just think I don't love Milroe here enough to really force that pick. I think I'd roll the dice with Bryce one more time, see what he's got. He's not costing you anything, and I think I'm just going to draft one of the best skill position players in this draft. And I'm going to take Luther Burden.
It's fair
from Missouri. I think you get him a receiver. He's not. You can kind of play him all over. Play him in the slot. They don't really have anybody blocking him. That's like substantial. What's his name?
You drafted Xavier Legette, but
right.
Thielen won't be there. They traded Deontay.
That's what I was thinking. Yep. Okay,
yeah, so I like Luther Burden there.
Yeah, I think that's a good fit there. No need to force the quarterback. So I'm back on the clock. Pick 10 here with the Miami Dolphins. PFF is saying they need a guard and a tackle, a cornerback, and I would agree with that completely. Let me peek at their depth chart really quickly. I think that... See, Miami is a weird team because they could be like full-blown rebuilding, but I don't think they will be. I think that they're... the problem is their team is so speed-focused that they've just kind of pigeonholed themselves, and I think they need to get themselves out of that and just start building a solid team regardless. So I'm going to look at some of the offensive linemen here because I think that's the way I would go. I'm going to go with Kelvin Banks Jr. I think they just grab one of the better tackles in this class. Armstead is always hurt. I think this is just a steady pick, just nothing sexy. You don't need to pick the fastest guy in the draft. Just Build the trenches.
Yeah. They will be tempted. They will
will
be
be.
tempted like hell just to be like, screw it, take Isaiah Bond.
Right.
Like just another guy with is just juice. All right, so I'm up at 11. We should get a pool and see how many times this pick gets mocked.
Oh, this one's
over
so
the next.
easy. Yeah.
It's Ashton Genty.
Yes.
It's Ashton Genty until it's not. It's the draft day meme, Ashton Genty no matter what. Ashton Genty is destined to play for the Dallas Cowboys. Although I will say I'm at least tempted by, I do think they need another wide receiver there. I do think the prospect of adding somebody like Isaiah Bond across from CeeDee Lamb is intriguing. But boy, they need a running back in the worst way. Rico Dowdle ain't it. Zeke comeback tour didn't work out. Ashton Genty is an absolute man possessed. Absolutely love him. Going to be a stud in the pros. Can do a little bit of everything and is absolutely running buck wild at Boise State this year. So we're going to go ahead and lock in Ashton Genty for the Dallas Cowboys at number 11. And the Indianapolis Colts are up at 12.
Yeah, I mean, I love that pick. I know it's the, like, the sexy mock pick, but like they need it.
How could you not?
They have a good team. Once they get healthy, the defense is solid. I think it's just a rock solid pick and worthy of being a top, half pick for a running back. With that being said, I'm on the clock here with the Colts at number 12. They need tight end, the linebacker, safety. They're another weird team. Like they just kind of always pick like best player available, and they love these like athletic freaks. But it really hasn't worked out for them too much. Do they need a quarterback? I'm not going to pick a quarterback here for them. But I am looking, and I think I'm going to take Malachi Starks here. I think he's fallen too far. I think this is kind of where he starts to really be in serious consideration, because I don't think top 10 for a safety is what this NFL likes. But with everybody playing too high, I think a safety is worthy of that pick, and I think he's the best in the class. So let's lock that in for the Colts.
Yeah, even though it's only the
everywhere.
difference of a few spots, I mean, taking Starks early teens feels better than taking him top 10.
Right.
For sure. I like that.
And I don't really love a tight end there, because that would have been my other option, because they really are in need of a tight end. They have like 5 mediocre tight ends.
I'm on the clock with pick 13 with the Bengals. T. Higgins seems kind of destined to not be there. They drafted Jermaine Burton, but boy, that's gone awful. I think I am going to take Isaiah Bond here. I think he's going to be a lock for the top half of the first round after he runs absolutely bananas at the combine, probably. And man, him out there with Chase. Yeah, I'm going to take Isaiah Bond at pick 13.
So you think if they take Bond, that means obviously they're not paying T. So then that means they are paying Trey Hendrickson, you would imagine.
I would imagine, yeah.
Because both of those guys are free agents. So I think just the way they operate, they are only going to pay one of them.
I would be
they got to pay Jamar.
floored if they paid both.
Right.
Yeah. I think T is as good as gone.
Yeah.
So that puts you up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at pick 14.
All right. The Tampa Bay Bucks, man. So this year they had like a cluster injury in their DBs, safeties, and cornerbacks. They've just been decimated. I don't know why PFF says they need a tight end. I think Cade Otton is rock solid. But,
I like Cade.
Yeah. He's been their only source of offense. So for this pick, it's between an edge and a cornerback here. And there hasn't been any edges gone yet.
Mm-hmm. They have their pick of the litter.
Yeah. Man, I think I might go cornerback here.
Okay.
Honestly, because I think they could work out a pass rush. And I think I'm going to go with the Notre Dame cornerback, Benjamin Morrison here.
Feels like a Bulls pick.
Yeah, he's got the, standard height and weight. Notre Dame, love that. And you're on the clock here with the Seahawks.
Yep, Seahawks at pick 15. Could use some offensive line help. We got the 2 big tackles have already gone. I'm going to take Minnesota's offensive lineman, Ariante Ursary. I think he's got a little flexibility there. I'm not convinced he plays tackle at the next level, but I think some of the flexibility he could give you kind of fits the mold of what they like there. So I'm going to take Ursary at pick 15. And then you're up with the Rams at pick 16.
All right, the Rams here. They're another team that like kind of low key could be in the quarterback market.
Mm-hmm.
Milroe is absolutely free falling right now,
Yeah.
and he's going to keep falling.
We're gonna get crushed for that. But.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I don't think this is the draft where you get like 5 guys in the top 10, or even 3 guys in the top 10. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
maybe somebody
I don't think
trades
so either.
with Jacksonville, but I'm not convinced with really any of these guys. They all have their warts to some degree. So with the Rams, I'm going to kind of go a little off the chart here. I think I'm going to go with who I think is the best tight end in this draft currently, and I'm going to go Michigan tight end Colston Loveland. I think they would love to pair him with Puka. Cooper Kupp is getting a little bit older. I think this is a rock solid pick for them. I could see McVay doing that. They always draft pretty well, even though they don't have a lot of draft capital.
I dig that. I'm up with the Bears at pick 17. Protect Caleb. All right. Just protect Caleb.
Yeah.
And they draft an offensive
coordinator. Or do they need a quarterback? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
People are asking. People are asking if they need a quarterback. I'm going to go ahead and take Cameron Williams, the other tackle from Texas. Just take an offensive lineman. Please, Please, God, take an offensive lineman. Whichever one you have rated highest, take them and keep Caleb upright. So you're up with the Niners at pick 18.
Feels like they won't be picking 18 when this all ends, but they are picking in this scenario at 18. They're another team, but they're just kind of rock solid, and I think they are just going to end up going best player available. Looking at my list here, you know what? This, I think, is where the edge.
That's what I was just wondering
stops here.
Too. Yeah, we have the edge guys falling.
Yeah, and so there's a couple guys that are all within this range. I think, let me see, I'm just looking at 2 guys here that I like. You know what, I think I'm going to go Nick Scouton. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but Texas A&M. I like that pairing with Bosa.
I like him the most.
He's a bigger guy,
group. Yeah, I like him more than like James Pierce
there.
And Carter. Like I like Nick. I've heard it both ways. Scourton, Scorton. Not sure what the correct way is. So sorry, Nick.
We'll find out soon.
Yes. All right, I'm up with the Broncos at pick 19. Broncos have overachieved, man.
Yeah.
Tight end would have been interesting, but you took Loveland. I don't know that I'm taking another one here. Makes me wonder if we get a little bit of an edge run here. I know they have some dudes flying around on that defense already.
Yeah.
Could use another wide receiver. I'm going to take Abdul Carter here, the edge from Penn State, and just keep loading up that defense. If like a Luther Burden fell here, I think that'd be interesting, but I don't think it's the right spot to pull the trigger on wide receiver for them yet. So I'll take Abdul Carter at pick 19, and you've got the Texans at pick 20.
All right. I'm going to do something here that I don't think would be popular online here, but I know fantasy Twitter would probably like this. I'm going to go with Ohio State running back Quinshon Judkins.
Oh, baby.
I think they're a team that they put themselves in a position where they can kind of just do what they want, right? That they have a good enough team. I think, they've kind of fallen off a little bit this year, but they still have a good enough team where they could take this kind of risk at pick 20.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a fun fit. Judkins is a good player.
Do you have him as running back 2 in this class?
Probably right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would feel pretty good about having him RB2 right now. And if he gets first round capital, woo baby, wheels up. You're gonna be paying up in your rookie drafts if Dynasty.
Oh yeah.
All right, Falcons are on the clock. Pick 21. They should just triple down. Take Jalen Milroe, right? Pair him with Kirk and Penix, and just like forget it. We're loaded up forever. Joking.
On the wishbone.
Yeah. Is Darnell Mooney's deal? Was it a 1-year deal there?
No, it's a 3-year deal, I think.
Okay. All right.
I think it was like the same deal as Saquon.
That's right.
Basically.
That's right. All right. So I don't think I'm going to take another receiver here for them then. I'm going to take Alabama edge LT Overton.
Yeah. I was going to say they need pass rushers so badly.
Yeah, D-line help. So I'll take LT Overton there. Bigger guy. I think he kind of fits the mold of what they like a little bit. So I'll take Overton there, and you're on the clock with the Cardinals at 22.
You kind of sniped me there. So let me think here. They need help on the defense, I think. So what defensive pick here can I squeeze in? You know what? I think there's a guy. Let me see if what's his rating here. Yeah. I'm going to go with Kentucky defensive lineman Dion Walker. I think they just need some bodies up front. Their defense is abysmal. Just beef them up. You know, they got the wide receiver, they got the quarterback. They could probably use an offensive tackle, but I'm going to go with the defense there.
I'm honestly surprised their defense is not worse. Like for how it's a lot of like no-name guys running around.
I was going to say, do you want to play a fun game? Name somebody on the defense.
Yeah, besides Budda Baker.
But besides Budda Baker, yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, just keep infusing talent there because I think they have the coaching for it, honestly. Like the defense is coached well right now. Yeah. Add some more premier talent and yeah, it'd be off to the races. All right, the Chargers on the clock with pick 23. What would Jim Harbaugh do?
Is there any tackles available?
Any running backs? You know what? This is what I would do. I don't know if Jim Harbaugh would do this, but this is what I would do. I'm going to take Emeka Egbuka.
You son of a gun.
I'm going to take Egbuka here, the wide receiver from Ohio State. Just a rock-solid player. I feel like gets buried a little bit because he's not the flashiest dude, but Egbuka with Ladd, if you get anything out of Quentin Johnston or if it's just in flashes, you're building out a group of pass catchers there. So I'll take Egbuka 23, and you're up with the Packers at 24.
All right, the Packers here. Packers they're a good team. I think they need help on the defense. So what I'm going to do here is just take one of the best defensive players available. So who am I going to pick here? I think they're pretty good on safety. Could use a defensive back, though. I'm going to take the East Carolina cornerback, I believe. Yes, I'm going to take Siobhan Revell. East Carolina. I think they'll go cornerback. He's got the height, 6'3", 193.
I dig it. I was considering Revell for Washington at pick 25. I know they just traded for Lattimore. I do wonder if they'll keep trying to add corners there. Yeah. But it's probably not quite as pressing a need as it once was. I think they still need help on the defense. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take James Pierce Jr., the edge from Tennessee. I think, undersized, but a guy that wins with bend and athleticism and gets after the passer. I think he's got a pretty good repertoire of pass rush moves. He's a guy that, I know PFF has him lower right now, but I just feel like come draft time, we're going to be talking about him as a first-round guy again. So I'll take James Pierce Jr. at 25. You're up with the Ravens at 26.
The Ravens. Okay. There's another team. Just a solid team. But I do think they need help on the offensive line. And that's just kind of who they are, right? They're always looking ahead, getting some guys on the offensive line. So let me see who's available here for the Baltimore Ravens. You took who I wanted to take in Ursery earlier. That's a bummer. You know what? I'm going to go with Princely. I'm not even going to try to say his last name. I'm sorry. Edge from Mississippi.
From Ole Miss.
From Ole Miss. Listen, I know I was talking about the offensive line, but this is like a Ravens thing, right? They just beef up either O-line or D-line, whoever they feel has dropped a little bit too much, and I think that he kind of fits their mold. Solid pass rusher. He's got great height and size. I think you can plug and play him there on the line, and they kind of low-key need a little help on that line. So,
all right, I like it. Steelers up at 27. I think they would have liked Egbuka to fall to them. Could use another wide receiver there, and I don't know. George Pickens feels like the next Pittsburgh wide receiver who will eventually get dealt. Love Pickens, but, another team that I think could use some offensive line help.
Can I interject here?
Yeah.
Are we letting Russ cook?
It's a good question. Doesn't feel like Fields will be there. Russ was on a 1-year deal, right?
Right. And Russ is not taking anything off the table. He's gonna get paid.
All right. We're getting him into round 1.
There we go.
I'm taking Jalen Milroe, baby. Save the hate in the YouTube comments. We got Jalen Milroe into the first round. Boom.
Let a naysayer know.
Yep, let a naysayer know. Jalen Milroe, quarterback, Alabama, pick 27. The Minnesota Vikings up at 28.
All right, the Minnesota Vikings. They've overachieved so far this year. They got their rookie quarterback coming back from injury. I think Sam will be gone, and he's going to be getting $30 million somewhere. Probably the Giants.
I was going to say start for the Jets again.
I think I'm just going to give him here. I think I'm going to give him a cornerback. They've whiffed on a couple of draft picks on cornerback. I'm going to give him Ohio State corner Denzel Burke. I think that seems about a Minnesota pick right there.
I like it. The Philadelphia Eagles up at pick 29. Who's the highest rated Georgia player? In all seriousness, though, no. I'm going to take him. Take him. The Bryce Huff thing hasn't worked out so far. I'm curious if, that was just the perfect blend of he worked in the Jets scheme. Maybe wasn't quite as worth it to anybody else. I'm going to take Michael Williams, the edge from Georgia. It just fits. Georgia defenders to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Buffalo Bills up at pick 30.
All right. Man, Buffalo Bills. I feel like they can go a lot of directions here. PFF says they need defensive line and linebacker, and that could be the case. They could probably use another receiver. They could probably use another offensive lineman. I think, though, I'm going to go a little further down PFF's board, and I'm going to go with another Georgia Bulldog, linebacker Jalen Walker. I think he'll be a nice fit on their front seven there. They just need some good bodies there in their spine of their defense. I think they can find a spot for him. Yeah.
The Detroit Lions up at pick 31. I'm going to go ahead and beef up the interior of this offensive line. I'm going to take Tyler Booker, the guard from Alabama, and plug him into the middle of that line. Let them keep running the ball.
I like that.
And then pick 32, Kansas City Chiefs. Someone come knock the Chiefs out of this spot, will they? Come on.
I don't think so. Mr. Correnti. Kansas City Chiefs is like a pure luxury pick for them every year. You know what? I think I'm going to do something. All right. I think I'm going to give him a tight end here.
Okay.
Kelsey's not getting any younger. They got a couple of guys there, but I think I'm going to go with the Penn State tight end, Tyler Warren here. He's been showing out a little bit this year. 681 yards. I think I'm going to give him a tight end just for funsies.
I like it a lot. There you go. A perfectly predicted first round. Picks 1 through 32.
Screenshot this. Yeah.
Lock it in.
Open up FanDuel, DraftKings. Bet this early.
Order your Pittsburgh Steelers Jalen Milroe jersey.
That is a good fit, though.
Yeah, for sure. It would be a good one. All right, that's fun. That's the full first round mock so far this season. We'll have plenty more as the season rolls on. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, comment down below. Let us know if there was picks you strongly opposed that we made, if there was something different you would have done, or if there was some fits that you thought, hey, we really like that. And if you're listening, leave a review, rate 5 stars in the review. Tell us what you think, or if you would have made any picks differently. Like I said, we'll do plenty of mocks over the course of the rest of the season, and especially once we really ramp up towards draft season, once the combine gets going and the NFL season wraps up. But here we go. We got one in the books. The juices are flowing now. Draft season is here.
Officially started for us, buddy.
Yes, we are looking gleefully at the top 10. All right, that is going to do it for this week. We'll be back on the feed next week with some more content for you. Make sure to like, subscribe on the YouTube channel, and make sure you're following the podcast on your favorite podcast platform so that you don't miss any new episodes we have coming your way the rest of the season and the off season when we really dive into draft talk. We will talk to you guys next week.
Keep the drive alive. Don't forget to like and subscribe.